Hey guys, the Wood Craftsman here. In this video we're going to be testing the Valspar Zenith series. It's a waterborne product line. I have gotten some Zenith waterborne wiping stain and some Zenith waterborne precatalyzed lacquer. I had somebody I know that works for Valspar in a lab, and they had sent me a quart of Zenith waterborne red mahogany wipe stain, and then a gallon of the Zenith waterborne precatalyzed lacquer. Now the term precatalyzed lacquer, I was doing a little bit of reading, and what I found out is that there's really not such a thing as a precatalyzed lacquer in a waterborne finish. It's more so of just a kind of a terminology or marketing thing more so. You know, cabinet shops that use a precatalyzed lacquer and, you know, think about going from a solvent-borne system to a waterborne system, they might be very familiar with, oh, well, you know, if I go with this precatalyzed waterborne lacquer, it's the same thing. It's, like I said, it's more so just as far as how it's marketed. As far as catalyst, there's really no catalyst into it. I believe the Zenith, the one above this, I'm not sure what it is, but it's a Zenith waterborne finish that I think you can add a cross-linker to, which basically enhances the polymers and resins to form the film, creating a much tighter webbing for the actual film surface. So, you know, it's one of them things that I think it's just more of a marketing thing that, you know, kind of familiarize people. If you're using a solvent-borne precatalyzed lacquer, this is the counterpart to it. So, the nice thing about it is with the waterborne series that you don't add the cross-linker to it. There's not a pot life involved in, unlike a solvent-borne system with a precatalyzed lacquer or a post-catalyzed lacquer conversion varnish. There's what they call a pot life, and the pot life is once you add the catalyst, the timer starts basically as far as how long that coating can safely be used before you start losing some of the integrity of the coating. Precatalyzed lacquers go anywhere from probably 4 months to a year, and post-catalyzed lacquers go anywhere from 8 hours up to, I think, 21 days is what I've seen, maybe 30 days, I think. You know, everybody's got a different version of it, but a true catalyzed conversion varnish is typically anywhere from 8 to 24 hours before you start losing the integrity of the coating, and then usually the viscosity starts raising quite rapidly as well, because it's actually kind of curing within the container. You kind of have to know what you feel comfortable with. I used waterborne coatings in 2000 to 2002, long before YouTube, and it was a learning curve, and I found a company that I really liked for the most part, and I had gotten to really know how to work with the products. And then basically there was an issue with some color matches, and you know, had some conversations with the lab and the company owner and things like that. Didn't end well, so I just basically drew the line in the sand and said that was it. So I went back into solvent. But I have a little bit of experience with waterborne. What I will tell you, as I told you in the previous video, don't be afraid of it. You know, water is coming sooner than later. You know, it's just a matter of time as far as who's going to be forced to use it and who doesn't have to yet. It could be that the real big companies that have a very large hazardous waste license, where they have you know, produce a lot of hazardous waste, that they might be forced into it, versus like the small guys like myself may never get into it. So my license is good for waterborne and solvent-borne finishes, so it really doesn't matter to me as far as which way I want to go. But if I want to look at my overall health and just overall the environment, waterborne is becoming more and more clear. The waterborne coatings today have definitely improved by far from where they were 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. So it's something not to be afraid of. So I'm going to take you through this journey of testing out this Valspar Zenith waterborne finish. We're going to be standing up a sample door set, and it's going to be a face frame door and drawer front. It's a door style that I'm not offering. It's one that I had kind of discontinued, but I never finished the sample. So I just thought, now would be a good time to finish it out, and I'll get some use out of that sample just to see as far as how it holds up to, a little bit of abuse. We're going to give it a shot. All right, let's do this journey. So when you're looking at this one here, it's not quite as milky looking as the Chem Aqua. So this will dry transparent like the other Waterborne, but it's just got a different appearance. Okay, so that was the seal coat on the front and back of the door and drawer front. Face frame's already got a seal coat on the edges and the face. I'm gonna let them dry for a while and probably let them dry overnight, which isn't reality most of the time, but being it's running late and I started this project late, I'll just let it sit overnight and I'll finish these up tomorrow morning. So in the meantime, I'm just going to give a couple thoughts on what I'm seeing so far. Being that the color of the coating in the pail is a little bit more transparent, or a little bit more transparent, doesn't have as much of that bluish white milky look. It's got more of a cream color, and it almost looks to be, at a piece that I'd sprayed up earlier, it's got a little bit of an amber tone to it, so when it comes to doing natural, I think it's adding a little bit of that natural tone that you typically find with a solvent-borne finish. As far as, you know, how it's going to hold up, I won't know until the finish is cured out, and then maybe we'll do some torture testing on it as well to see how it holds up to acetone or lacquer thinner, which is a pretty harsh test, but it kind of, acetone kind of resembles nail polish remover. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, as far as performance, it just seems to be it's performing, you know, like I remember a Waterborne to perform. It's probably no better, no worse. But the true acid test will be when I powder it out, as far as how slick it becomes, and then when I spray the final coat on to see how well it actually looks. So I have a previous door from the Sherwin-Williams Sherwood Chem Aqua, and I'll have this door, or this sample set as well, with the Valspar Zenith Waterborne wiping stain and precatalyzed lacquer. So yeah, it's too early to tell. As far as does it handle any different, not really. I've sprayed a Valspar precatalyzed lacquer in the past for a few years, and you know, it was a little different learning curve than the Sherwin-Williams that I was using. And then when I moved back into Sherwin-Williams, I went into the high solids or the high build precat, and that was a slight bit learning curve, but it was actually a little bit easier because it was a higher solids content, had a little bit better vertical hang. The one thing I noticed with the Chem Aqua Plus is just on the edge of the doors, I had a couple spots where it kind of rolled over the edge a little bit and kind of curtained a little bit, which kind of makes me a little bit nervous, the fact that it didn't really have a really good vertical hang just on the edge of the door. Now, it might have been the edge got blasted a little bit more, but it's one of those things that I kind of see now that kind of puts up a caution flag as far as how does this actually perform on the vertical. In 2002, I used a product called Van Technologies. They had a couple different formulations. The one that I used was the Van Aqua 282. and there was a Van Aqua 280. And the difference between the 280 and the 282 is the 282 had a higher viscosity for better vertical hang. So I'm not aware if there's anything like that in any of these other coatings that I've tried. As far as I know, the difference between the Sherwin-Williams, Sherwood, Chem Aqua, and the Chem Aqua Plus is the Chem Aqua Plus has a little bit higher solids content, and I think it's got a little bit better KCMA rating, and I think it was kind of engineered to be kind of a replacement to the pre-catalyzed lacquer that they currently offer. Now when it comes to the Valspar Zenith series, there's, I think, 3 different types of waterborne top coats in the Zenith series. There's just a Zenith waterborne lacquer, waterborne pre-catalyzed lacquer, and I think there's what they call waterborne conversion coating. And I believe the conversion coating, you can actually add a cross-linker to. The cross-linker is kind of like a catalyst, but it's a little bit different yet. So there's kind of a difference between a waterborne and solvent-borne catalyzed coatings. This one here, they call it a pre-cat, but as I mentioned earlier in the video, there really is not such a thing as a pre-catalyzed waterborne. It's just more kind of the terminology they're using in relating it to the solvent-borne companion. So fluid pressure, you might be asking, and air pressure. I'm actually running this at 600 psi and about 15 pounds of air pressure, and I'm actually using a 9/132 tip. Seems to be working out really well. Seems to be breaking up really good. You have nice consistent film. I haven't seen anything on the other side where I've already got sealed as far as anything that really jumps out. It's got, you know, grain race, things like that. Typically what you'd find in your seal coat. So nothing additional to what I would normally find.